Hello, my beautiful ladies. Today, I want to share my health journey. And one of those was healing my eyes. So coming from the business world, my background is in marketing. I have spent many hours looking at a screen, looking at my phone. And I've also really enjoy my doing mode, my accomplishing, my what I call riverbed mode and getting things done. So I've spent long hours, and especially during the pandemic. So if you ever want a reason, and I know everyone's been saying, make sure throughout your day to get up and walk around. Don't always look at the screen. And there is a very good reason why. So during the pandemic, I was home. I also had my son who my husband and I were both at the beginning trying to trade off and figure out how to have him on the screen. And I was also working as well. Right before the pandemic, the company I was working for merged with another company. So we were going through a merger right before. And then around the time of things shutting down, we had decided to do a branding refresh. So coming up with a new name, logo, website, etc. I had an amazing rock star coworker. She is the social media expert. I was the PM or the program manager. So we had never met before, but we spent long hours doing the website refresh. And we did that refresh in 8 weeks, which I have been part of website refreshes, logo refreshes, all that good stuff before, but I have never seen it happen in 8 weeks, and we did it. But what did this require? It required us to, every extra minute to get back on the computer. And, after I put my son to bed, it was very common for me to hop back on, get on chat with her and work until 12:31 a.m. and then get up and do it the next day. So it wasn't just that, but during this time, because I was also working, trying to help take care of my son, I was also using my phone screen to look up a lot of the in-between communication. With that being said, it is not uncommon for me not to work late hours. I am the type of person, either I am giving something 0% or I'm giving 150% of myself to a project or to, whatever area in my life. I've had my career. I've loved being in marketing. I've absolutely love what I do. Just realizing that pushing my body and recognizing that I am not a man. I have different hormones. I have a different body. I realized I burned through my adrenal glands. I was drinking coffee a lot to help stay awake and to push through. I started to notice when I was driving, specifically on the highway, and when I was going at a higher speed, all of a sudden, I started feeling like I was experiencing vertigo. And I had never had this before. And to be honest, I thought I was just tired. I was thinking, wow, I'm feeling lightheaded. My vision was a little bit off. And I was just thinking, I'm taking care of everything. I'm taking care of the house. I'm taking care of my son. I have been pushing it with work. Maybe I'm just tired. And it's interesting. I noticed this when we took a road trip to meet my sister midway for a family trip, because usually my husband and I trade off. It was my turn to drive, and I just kept feeling like I had vertigo, to the point where I felt like I couldn't balance. And I kept trying to push through, and, he was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just tired." And I stopped and got like a drink to try to wake myself up, but then it started to get worse to the point where I did not feel safe. And I am not one that easily admits that I need to stop. I'm working on that. But at some point, thank goodness, I was honest with my husband, because I was just thinking, oh gosh, maybe I'm just not able to cut it. I'm tired, but I should be able to push through, and I need to help and I need to do my part. He's already been driving most of the day. I can handle this for a couple of hours. But then I felt a shift in my body and something did not feel right. And so I shared with him, I said, babe, I'm so sorry. I know usually I drive so you can rest a little bit. I appreciate all that you've done, but something is just not feeling right. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm too tired. Maybe I've overdone it. I don't know. So he was like, okay, let's pull over. And he drove the whole way. So I appreciate him doing that so much, because it was a long drive. That was like the first initial experience of feeling this way. Then when we got back home, I started noticing that when I was driving on the highway, especially when there was an open area, and in the DFW area, there is a lot of flat land. Again, my vision started just kind of going back and forth, and I kind of felt like I was almost suspended in the car seat, but up in the air. And I felt like I couldn't, like if I put my hand out, I wasn't going to be able to catch myself. It was the most bizarre experience. Then I spoke with someone and they recommended, okay, go to an eye doctor. Like maybe this is eye related. Maybe it's not because you're tired. Maybe you need to look at something with your eyes. So I scheduled an appointment with the eye doctor. And to be honest, the greatest fear I had walking into that appointment was for me to share what my experience was and for the doctor to say, I don't know what you have. Because I looked up things online, I couldn't find anything online other than just, maybe being tired. He checked out my eyes. He said, yes, I know what you have. And to be honest, I was relieved, because if I know what I have, then I know how to heal it. But if he didn't know what I had, then other than I'm tired, I just couldn't explain it. And it was to the point where I was starting to take the service roads. And if you're in the DFW area, taking the service road is not the most efficient way to get around. And so trust me, I was just thinking, I am way too young for this. I don't know what's happening, but I need to figure this out. He said, you're not going to believe this, but this is something new. It is because of looking in long periods of time at a computer screen up close or looking at your phone. And he said that pilots have experienced this, but now because many of us are knowledge workers and we're on computers all day and on our phone, he's starting to see this pop up with more of the general population. And it's something called empty field myopia. And it's this idea that if you are, constantly looking at a screen that has the black light, it's messing with your time giver cues. And what it's doing is it is weakening your long vision muscles. And so when I was driving, as long as there was a car in front of me at the time, I was completely fine. But the second a car would speed up away and I had nothing in front of me to focus on, there were no walls. And so almost like an empty field, right? My eyes were constantly searching and trying to focus on something close by. It was starting not to be able to handle focusing on things far away. I asked him, what can I do? And again, if you're starting to experience any of this and you think it's because you're tired, I encourage you to schedule a doctor's appointment with an eye doctor to see if you are experiencing empty field myopia, because it is a real thing. And now I'm concerned, especially with us, that our job is primarily on the computer, and we're on the computer, late at night. And so we're, messing up our time giver cues with our circadian rhythm, with the sun setting and the sun rising. There's just a whole lot going on that our bodies are just not used to. And so he told me that for my situation, he could give me corrective glasses, and that would fix it and help. But once I go that route, there's no undoing it. I can't heal my eyes. And he said, I do believe that you can heal your eyes. It'll probably take about 6 months to a year, but you're going to have to be very strict on your computer time. When it's time to go to bed and it's getting dark, close down your computer and do not open it back up for the night. Because the other thing is my sleep was off as well. Again, this is why I thought I was just tired. I'm like, man, I must be really tired, but I'm in my 40s. I've never felt this way before. To also make sure that when the sun is going down, to start to wrap up work. And I know this is tough, especially marketers, high achieving marketers or high achieving career women. A lot of my work I did at night, after hours, after my son went to bed. But he said, in order to heal, I needed to take these steps if I wanted to heal. And thank goodness, I have pretty much healed my eyesight. But it took me limiting my time, being very mindful, trying to work when the sun is up. And once I go to bed, and he said, even with the light in the room, when you shut down your computer, start to turn off lights, do not flip them back on, because that will wake you back up and your brain goes back up on alert. And it's difficult for you to fall asleep and get that good sleep. How's everybody's sleep doing, by the way? Are you getting good sleep? How's that going? And so I know this may require us to adjust some things, but I believe this is important information, right? And we do not have hundreds of thousands of years of experience working long hours on a computer screen with a black light. The other thing that he recommended is that I wear these protective glasses. So when I'm editing and doing things on the computer, I wear these every single day, and it has helped. As the new modern world comes and we adjust, we're going to find things along the way, things of where our boundary is, where our health boundaries are. We're going to need to get creative, right? And come up with different ways of doing things. I'm grateful that I did end up scheduling an eye doctor's appointment. I'm grateful that he knew what it was and not that I was just tired, because how do you cure just being tired, right? If you are experiencing this, yes, please schedule an eye doctor's appointment just to see. Maybe it is that you are tired, and you can look and search for different ways and how to help get better sleep, because guys, sleep affects everything. And especially the older you get, and I still feel like I'm young, I'm in my early 40s, but sleep affects everything. It affects your mood. It affects when something unexpected comes up, how you respond. It affects vision. And so just paying attention to your body cues, and when you're in your 20s and you can push through, that's fantastic. But as we start to get closer to our 40s, making sure that we're not ignoring these body signals, and we're starting to tune in and go inside and be better connected with our body, because running ourselves down as you get older, it's more difficult for the recovery. And so this is going to be super important for your overall health, for your health for yourself. for your health, for your family, for your health, for your friends, and for your health in whatever career or passion project or whatever hobbies you want to do. In your 40s is too young for your vision to be going down. And seek out finding out what is the root cause, what's the source, and then what are things that you can adjust to get yourself to a better place. And again, finding ways to heal yourself as things come up. All right, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.